from Anshe Sfard, Bethel Emeth Congregation. It's time to take 10 minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.
Welcome to our discussion of Vayishlach, the Nebuch. If we ask ourselves a question, why is it that after Yaakov was so fearful of his meeting with Esav, when he finally meets him, Esav is so wonderful, he's so loving. Vayaratz Esav likrato vayichabekeyu. That vayipol tzavara vayishakeyu. Esav actually runs to meet Yaakov. He hugs him. He falls on his neck and he kisses him. What happened? How did Esav the lion turn to Esav the lamb? What happened? Chamalevich asked this question, and it behooves us to answer it. It's a question that opens up a lot of possibilities. Possibility number one, prayer. Hatzileni nam yad achim yad Esav. He prayed for God to save him from his brother. Maybe it was a prayer that Esav should understand that he is a brother. His prayer was answered. He meets Esav. There's no problem at all. Everything's great. He treats him like a brother, loves him, he hugs him and he kisses him. Possibility number two. Yaakov orchestrated this in such a way that first Esav met the various women, the various wives and their children. Seeing wives and children, perhaps they were scared. So in one commentator, perhaps they begin to tremble and to cry. Seeing the women cry, it made him have mercy on his brother. Possibility number three. Long time no see. Person after a long separation, it brings the heart closer. Tell the story of one Rosh Yeshiva, great rabbi who enjoyed going to the airport to see the emotional scenes of parents parting from children, and then to see the reunions, the great joy when a person sees a relative they haven't seen in a long time. It's just a human condition of a brother not having seen a brother in so long. Possibility number four is a verse in Proverbs 27. Kemayim hapanim lapanim. Like the face of water in water, like the mirror image that you see of yourself in the water. Kein lev ha'adam la'adam. So too is the heart of one man to another. When Yaakov truly decided that he loved his brother, and he showed his love for his brother with the great gifts, then Esav responded in like kind. Esav perhaps had come to attack him with 400 men. But when he saw the love of his brother, he too ran to greet him, likrato. You're greeting me, and he, in a commensurate way, came to greet him as well. Possibility number five. Benno Jacob, 19th century German rabbi, said, V'hu tzoleh al yirecho. After all, from this point on, Yaakov limps. And when someone limps, you have mercy on him. My brother, I thought he was going to attack him. He's a whole big shot. He just limps. Nothing to worry about. He's no threat. He's kind of a nebuch. We'll get back to that later. Possibility number six. What Esav was interested in was not per se the family position or what. He wanted the honor. The main thing was he wasn't interested in the blessing of Abraham. He didn't want to be the progenitor of the Jewish people. He didn't want to stay in the land of Canaan. He wanted the honor. Yaakov gave him so much honor. And that's what it was really about. Sometimes someone confronts you and it's not about the issue at hand. It's about the kavod, the honor. Yaakov gave him all the honor he could imagine. Possibility seven. That you know what it is? It's that angel. In that encounter with the angel, it's some mystical, subconscious level. Yaakov gained confidence, and Esav saw that he was no match for Yaakov. He was defeated in his subconscious level. When he met him, he had turned to butter. Something had changed metaphysically in his deeper inner conscience that changed him And that's what changed the 400 men coming to attack to a man who came and greeted and hugged. Possibility number 8. Yaakov says, in Lavan Garti, I live with Laban. And Rashi says, V'taryag mitzvot shamarti, I was still able to keep the 613 mitzvot. Esav thought that he would see a brother who was assimilated, who was tainted by his association with Laban. He knew how tricky Laban was. And he sees Yaakov, and Yaakov is so forgiving. He's matured. He's so spiritual. He has that aura of the blessing of Abraham. He has the aura of the angels going up and down his head. A man who had just seen angels. He says it, Kirot Pnei Elokim. He exudes that sense that he's seen the angels. And with that kind of aura, Esav dare not start up with him. It's the aura of the doing the right thing that makes Yaakov so impressive, so lovable. Number 9. It's a big lie. Yaakov met Esav, and Esav was the same old Esav. It's a trick. He seems to kiss him. He really bit him. He really didn't love him. That's possibility number 9. Finally, the Torah Hamor, Rabbi Abraham Saven, says that he puts words in the lips of Esav. He says, you know what Esav would have said? He says, when he saw the children and the women, he said, what am I going to do? Make a war against women and children? There's no soldiers here. Where's my great heroism if I make myself a warrior against children? That's not the way to go. So what was it that changed his heart? According to the Torah Hamor, was the notion that you can't fight against children. Yaakov is just a nebuch. He's just a father of lots of children. There's no one to fight with here. This is not a person of similar stature. He's not a warrior. He's not someone you can fight with. Now the Ramban tells us that this is Maseh Avot Siman Lavanim. The Midrash told us this chapter is no story here. This is the story of the Jewish people throughout history. According to the Torah Hamor, the Torah is telling us a very sad element of Jewish history. What happens to our great enemies? Oh, as long as we're limping, as long as we're just nebuch, the children and the women, as long as we're weak, then the enemies turn to butter. The Jews are weak, that's fine. There's no problem. Oh, poor Israel, being attacked by all the nations around them. 1967, 1948, being attacked by all the enemies. Oh, the world gives some sympathy. No, not much help, but a lot of sympathy. But when Israel is strong, then Varbamo Ishimo. When Israel is perceived as being strong, then they come to attack. The notion that the Jewish people can also be a people. We can also have a country like France or England, Germany. We can also be a power in the world. This somehow is anathema to those who have hatred for the Jewish people in their hearts. And therefore, why did he change his mind? Because it's easy to love the nebuch. The question is, can you love your brother when he's not just a nebuch? Charity case. Can you love your brother when he's an equal? Can you love your brother when the times are going well for him? That's the question. When you might tend to be jealous, that's the question. Parashat Vayishlach tells us, as long as the Jews are nebuch, there will be sympathy from certain sectors. Now, these days, we're dealing with the question of what happens when the Jew's not nebuch. Can we find the love of an Esav, of humanity, when Jewish people assert themselves and find their place among the family of nations? Let's hope that in our time we can see an embrace, even of Jews, of power. Thank you for joining us here, the Anshe Sfar Beth Elameth congregation, for our discussion of Parashat Vayishlach. Join us each week for our discussion of the Parsha, the various holidays, how-to videos. Thanks to Jason Lefkowitz, our producer. Thank you.
This has been 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein. To learn more, visit ASBEE.org.